Yeah, so I opened the file. I saw the squad, and I closed the file. And I left it alone for a couple of hours because I was like, I'm not in the headspace for this. They wanted to be centre backs, but they had like one strength.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl.
We have a few players currently in our squad, Katy, which are 1 or 2 strength. So you're gonna love that.
They're delicate flowers. Leave them alone. They're just a girl.
I've had to make 1 or 2 changes because of some of the signings that we've had to make. Some of the people that have gone, but like nothing dramatic. What Katy has given me.
Don't you dare put the libero back in. Don't you dare.
I've not.
Alice has a vision here. Come on.
Welcome everyone to the WFM Show. My name is Alice and this is your home for all things women's football in the beautiful game of Football Manager. So today I have a Katy. How are you doing, Katy?
I'm good. I'm really good actually today. Yeah. Living the dream.
Living the dream.
Fantastic.
The dream. Living the Football Manager dream yet?
Yes. Yes.
Ank, how are you doing, friendo?
My friend drew what I think is a tarantula in a party hat on my matcha today.
That is sensational.
So that made my day a lot better.
Cute tarantulas are adorable. Real life tarantulas are terrifying.
It could be some other like ball of fluff because it may not have like a tarantula amount of eyes, but that was my guess.
Does it have a tarantula amount of legs?
There's some little what are they called? The little mouth parts. It's got
fangs?
Those. No, they're definitely not fangs. Something laps, predolaps, or something like that. I don't know.
That's way above my pay grades. That's too much anthropology, I'm afraid. I'm just going to leave.
Somebody in the comments will know what it's called.
So in the last episode, we talked about our succession save. We hadn't started the succession save yet, although we did decide on the club Barry Town. So a lot has happened. So I've had it twice now. Ank, you've had it once, and Katy, you've had it once.
Yeah, correct.
So it's now back with me. So this is the second half of season 2 we're in. And things are going well. But before we talk about how they're going right now, Ank, you got it after me, yeah? What did you think about what I gave you? So what did I give you and how did you work with it?
You gave me a lot of debt. You gave me a wage budget that I think was about £700 a week over budget. And the budget was like £1,200 to start with. So we were at like more than 50% of our wage budget over our wage budget. So in the short term, you set me up okay. We had some like genuinely strong talent within the team. The only reason I had to recruit in the January window was one of my right backs got like a pretty serious injury. I think like a knee injury or something. So she was out for all of the spring and I had to bring Aloni in. But other than that, I didn't have to do any January signings. You did set us up pretty well in terms of talent. What the medium to long term repercussion of that was that I couldn't keep any of that talent because I couldn't pay them and I couldn't recruit people that were of equivalent talent to them. So that's why dearly beloved India Shanahan left the club. Was not because she wasn't willing to re-sign, but because she like looked at the rest of our squad and was like, I don't think so.
Losing India does seem like it was a massive loss. She was by far the best player in our squad. So I remember at the end of yours, Ank, you had signed for Katy 40 plus trialists. Katy,
only trialists.
How were you able to, like, what was going through your mind when you loaded that screen up and saw that we had a club roster of like 60 players?
Yeah, so I opened the file. I saw the squad. And I closed the file. And I left it alone for a couple of hours because I was like, I'm not in the headspace for this. No, it was good. I mean, I think there was a lot of Americans
There were a lot of Americans.
Many Americans.
They were predominantly Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there were a few of them that I think I picked up permanently. I did terminate a number of trials because one of the problems that I have found is that if we offer people a trial at the end of our season, it's then like 6 months before we play football again.
Yeah.
So I was looking at all these players and I was like, I have no idea how good you actually are because I can't see them in a game. I did keep... Now, there were a couple. There was a right back who was quite good, who was a double-barrelled name.
Yeah, that was like Taylor something.
Yeah, she was quite good. Guadalupe Vasquez. I am an enjoyer. I've learned how to say it, which is nice. But she has a bit of like a clutch gene about her. And then I went and looked for like some Welsh people as well. But I eventually got the squad down to like a nice healthy like 25, 26. And then just filled it in with the youth teams as and when we needed to. But I did bring in, and I was very pleased with this, Madison Lloyd, who might be my new favourite player.
Madison Lloyd is...
I think I owe Molly an apology.
It was a very good sign-in. So, Ank, you obviously brought in 40, 50, whatever it was, trialists from America. Here, the thing is with this, right? So there's two things which we've talked about on stream before, or on the pod before, where for some reason in the women's league in FM26, there are no work permits. You don't have to worry about work permits or anything. You can just sign anyone from anywhere in the world, and that's how we're able to sign these American players.
Yeah.
Where did they come from, Ank?
So the logic chain that I followed with to before the 40 trialists, I mean, I had several months in the game of like trying to figure out how I wanted to scout, trying to figure out how I wanted to recruit and what I wanted to prioritize. And one of the things I ran across is like the reality that I really, really, really hate turning attribute masking off. I don't think it's fun to play with attribute masking off. That was the first thing I hit. So I was kind of like, all right, so I want a recruiting strategy that is not just me going to all of these players that I already know the stats of and finding the fastest ones, which would be the like gamiest way to go about it. And also the way that I probably would be inclined to do. But what I did was I went into the released players from predominantly youth squads and semi-professional squads in the US. Waves of like released players first in December 2025 and then in May 2026. And I went through those and then I scouted down further, and the ones that I thought that I could turn into at least adequate players that were worth like a closer look are the ones that I brought in on trial. So they generally came from not just the NWSL and not even predominantly the NWSL, but mostly the USL Super League and the USLW League.
Okay, so they were all new gens.
I would say they were like 80 to 90% new gens, but they were not all new gens.
So I am curious as to why the game generated all those players. Like, it's not like...
because in real life, a lot of them are... So there's two things at play.
College, right?
Yeah, there's two things at play. There's the timeline of when the season runs. So it, like the NWSL, is like an early spring to fall season, as opposed to running in the calendar that European schedules run on.
Yeah.
And then also it's what Katy just said. They can't populate it with real people because most of the real people are college players that also kind of moonlight on a semi-professional squad in the summer or play on one before going to college. We have all these like weird things in the US right now with name, image, and likeness rights, where you have to actually like pay the players for that, and no deal has been negotiated with the NCAA for their rights to them. So I think that's probably what goes into it. I'd be curious if like any researchers in North America have a better answer to that. But it is something that I noticed not just in our Barrytown save, but also in my Bristol City save way
a lot
back
of
in
the
beta.
men's generation for like MLS and stuff is exactly the same. Like you can't. There's a whole thing. Because so EA had to bin off college. Total tangent here, law nerd. EA had to bin off their college football franchise for years because the NCAA just wouldn't give them the image rights, because you're not meant to pay. Like college athletes aren't meant to get paid, and they were getting paid a fortune in image rights. So then, like, they were picking colleges and stuff based on the money they would make for their image rights, and not based on where they actually wanted to be.
Yeah.
And it's the same with 2K as well. 2K had to bin off their college basketball game. Nerd moment. I did some of it in uni. But yeah, a lot of them were new gens, but some of them, I noticed actually that the new gen attribute like distributions are mental.
They're very strange.
It's bizarre.
It happens in the men's game too.
Yeah.
I ran into that a lot in my Hereford save.
I've
It'll
noticed,
have like physical attributes that are like ridiculously low, or they'll end up with high physicals but almost
like,
no technicals.
The number like the number of players that I was scouting were like they wanted to be centre backs, but they had like one strength.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl.
We have a few players currently in our squad, Katy, which are 1 or 2 strength. So you're gonna love that.
They're delicate flowers. Leave them alone. They're just a girl.
As I said on stream the other day, the layoffs will continue until morale improves. I've kind of accepted that what's going to happen in this whole cycle, and I feel like this is going to happen every time, is Alice is going to absolutely ruin the finances. Ank's going to fix it by giving me like 100 trialists, and I'm going to have to tell them all to bugger off. Mm-hmm. And at the end of it all, I'm going to sign a 4'11" Russian to play centre half and put her next to, and I really hope you've enjoyed this little enlarged pairing, Alice, because we have a 4'11" centre half and a 5'11" centre half, and when the two of them are next to each other, it is the funniest thing I have ever seen.
It's glorious, right?
It's hilarious.
You have to keep the 4'11" Russian centre back around long enough for me to get to play with her, because I'm already charmed.
Excellent. She's excellent. Like, I have watched that woman out-leap genuinely tall footballers to win headers at corners. She has like 18 jumping reach and she's 4'11".
Do we know if she's a new gen or if she's
real? I think she's real.
Player. Yeah, I looked it up. I'm sure her jumping reach is... But we know virtually nothing about it. She's a real player. She exists, although I couldn't find any information on her.
I'm sure, I might not be 18, but I'm sure her jumping reach is insane.
Yeah, it's insane for her height. It's not 18 though.
Yeah. No. It might be like 12, but it feels like 18.
I hear, Katy, that you love 4'11" players, right? So I signed another one. And we will get to the I
fear it really depends where you're going to put them.
Now, I really want to talk about something this player did, but before we get to that, I'll bring up the save in a bit. I'll bring up the screen. But before we get to that, so we worked out. We rolled our character Wendy Taylor. Last pod we rolled her to see what attributes she would have, what her playing style is going to be. Even some fickle things like her age and stuff like that. Yeah. So one of those was married to the system.
Yes.
And I started the save, and I imagine had Ank or Katy started the save, it would have been a reasonably well thought out formation, a reasonably well thought out strategy. I was like, do you know what I really love? I love a good 5-2-3. No one else does, but I love a good 5-2-3.
Sorry, Alice, I'm going to have to stop you there. That's not a 5-2-3. That is a 5-2-1-2.
No, yeah, it is a 5-2-1-2.
It's not a 5-2-3.
This is like when I in my stream.
A 5-2-3 would have wingers.
Yeah.
And we don't have wingers.
But that's the thing, right? So what was interesting is I really enjoyed watching your stream, and you were devastated.
I was
loss of wingers.
Yep.
But I also saw you having to play the game in a way that you weren't necessarily comfortable with. Like, kind of run us through what you were experiencing.
Every second of it. No, do you know, especially in lower leagues, I really like having wingers because fast in lower league, go brrr, make goal. Right, that's it. And I think it's really funny that Ank was like, "Oh, I didn't really want to game the system, but the first thing I did was try to find the tallest, fastest striker I could." I was like, "I am going to ruin this league." No, do you know, I really enjoyed it. I think I really like a 4-3-3. I like making really weird systems, but they always have wingers. And not having wingers really confused me for some time. And again, especially because our preseason is so long, right? Yeah. Like, I had to sit and look at this tactic on my tactic screen that I couldn't do anything with for about 3 months, and try to figure out which of the 500 trialists were going to fit into the system, when none of them really seemed to have like a recognised position, right? Like, I had centre mids who couldn't pass. I had strikers with like 13 tackling. I was like, what is going on? And one of the things that I do like about the system is how flexible your players can be within it, right? So I had, what's her name? I made her captain because it was the only way I could sign her. She's got like 6 leadership. She is nominally a centre mid, but she played quite a lot at wing back because the skill set is quite similar, I have discovered.
Yes.
Right? Not a thing that I was aware of previously. And I also really liked how much space the wing backs have, right? And I tried to build my own narrow system last night while I was getting battered 3-0 by Rangers, and it went poorly. So I went back to my wingers. But I have really enjoyed it. Like, I think it's nice to be able to play the game in a way that is a little bit different sometimes, because I have a lot of habits that I have had to confront recently.
So the tactic came back around to me, and the formation is, as we established, it's the same. And there's not too much dramatically different about the half.
I think I changed a couple of roles.
Yeah.
You had an advanced centre back.
Yeah, I had a libero.
No. What you had was women that stepped into midfield and got lost. So I stopped that happening. I dropped her back to being just a normal centre back.
Yeah,
I changed, I think, the midfield roles. I changed a little bit.
Generally, within the games, so I did less of the, like, changing the tactic outside of matches and did more changing the tactic within matches for the match specifically. Yeah. And I typically would have, like, the 2 outside center backs in the back 3 drift wide, and then have the center one be more like of a stopper. I did not play a libero because I thought we were too narrow already. Yeah. But
so the system came back to me, and I was really surprised how, like, between the 3 of us, we'd started this system, this travesty of a system that I gave you, and you gave it back to me as a fully functioning, really good system. I've had to make 1 or 2 changes because of some of the signings that we've had to make, of the people that have gone, but like nothing dramatic. What Katy has given me...
You dare put the libero back in. Don't you dare.
I've not.
Alice has a vision here. Come on.
It's like working with Chris Wilder, man. It's overlapping centre-backs all over the place.
Luckily for both of you, I have not brought the libero back. I don't technically think we have anyone at centre-back that is that comfortable in the position anyway.
I know a really short Russian woman that would make a good go of it.
Weren't you playing her as a right wing back?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's also played centre mid at times.
So let's bring up the game. I think it's about time that we brought up the game. So let's share.
Also, I have another disclaimer in regards to the 40 trialists. So originally, the reason that I brought that many people in trial was not just to spam trials. It was because I couldn't get a friendly against any competitive team, and I had thought maybe if I have enough trialists in the team at the club, I can play a friendly against myself, and we can have something to fill the summer. I was wrong. You can't do that either. So these women sat around in Barrie and just looked at each other probably for a solid 3 months.
Yeah, I think that's what, when I saw Katy streaming it, Katy was desperate for friendlies to kind of see what these trialists were capable of.
Because like I'm sort of like in an opinion where like, yeah, you can see the attributes, that's great.
Right.
But I have a thing about match rating. Right, and I've noticed that Alice has dropped half my squad. But
I'm trying to see who's even. I'm glad Emily Freeman is still there.
Emily Freeman is the GOAT, by the way.
Yeah.
What a player.
FYI,
Like, I have
Emily
watched
Freeman.
that woman like volley it from 50 yards.
Alice made Emily Freeman captain, and then Katy took the armband away from Emily Freeman.
Well, no, so I had to, in order to sign Kelsey Thomas, I had to promise her I would make her captain, which I thought nothing of. And then I went to the captaincy screen and realised she had 6 leadership and 7 teamwork. But do you know what? She did a really good job.
So I like how you brought up Emily Freeman, because Emily, we're at the end of the season. The league season is over.
I'm trying to see if there's any hints and tips about how we finished.
But Emily Freeman got the Player of the Season award for the league.
Yeah.
So she was sick. And
she's really good. Really, really good.
Scourfield got Young Player of the Season.
You'll be delighted to know, Alice, that she's out of contract in the summer.
No, she's not.
Is she not?
She's re-signed a new contract with them until 2029. She was a solid player for us. She got some banging goals this season. Like, I was pleasantly surprised.
I can't remember, but I was going to sign her on a free.
Yeah.
Oh, was that not her? Oh no, that was Jess Reevil. Jess Reevil, I was going to sign on a free, and she went somewhere, so I just loaned her back.
So she comes from Aberystwyth.
Yes.
Don't try and pronounce it if you're not Welsh. It's probably best not to.
I can say it. Aberystwyth.
Aberystwyth.
I can say it.
Aberystwyth.
Aberystwyth.
I think I had it the first time. Once I thought about it too much, it went away.
So I believe that, Kitty, you owe Molly an apology.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it. But I do. I do. She did really well for me.
Ollie's good.
Yeah, Molly has outshone our young American goalkeeper, Zimental.
But in fairness, our young American goalkeeper is also very good. They are both good.
Every time I brought Ziamena in, she was pretty solid. Like
do you know what I love about Jimena?
Yeah.
She has one eccentricity.
Yeah.
Right? I would play the worst goalkeeper in the world if they had one eccentricity. Like, I think Molly's is like 10 or 11, if I'm not mistaken.
One of my big issues about Cimental, I can't pronounce that. She has
Cimental.
5 one-on-ones. She's going to get rounded so easy.
I beg your pardon.
Whereas Molly is just a really good overall goalkeeper. She's not bad at anything necessarily. So she just may be a little short.
This
version
of Molly is better than the version of Molly that haunted me at the start of the year.
Okay.
I will say. However, I will also say that I have watched her on 2 separate occasions come to claim a cross and punch it directly to the feet of the striker and then stand there while it got volleyed past her. So, I will owe Molly a partial apology, but I have still seen some shit.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I've seen Molly get lobbed a fair few times. I think there was one game where she got lobbed from about 45 yards. She was a little bit too far out of her goal, and they just punted it and it went straight over. She does make some spectacular saves, so I'll allow it. I'll love it. She was key in some of the games that we'll show you. So we're just talking about our 4'11" centre-back, and that is Zakova. And I do not know how a 4'11" centre-back has 13 jumping reach.
So what happens is her centre-back partner picks her up and throws her in the air like they're doing a line-out.
That's a great idea. I love that. But I've also
convinced she scored a goal from a corner for me, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I've made that up.
But I felt that the centre-back trio needed a bit more quality. I think they were good. But I decided to bring in Megan Bowen on a free.
Oh, to be fair, I'd scouted her in the summer, and I did really want her.
Yeah,
but she turned me down.
Yeah, she wanted a lot of money. I managed to get that down to minimum wage.
I was going to say, I see you've given her it.
So £2,600 per year is, that's kind of criminal, even for a part-time player. And bad news, Madison Lloyd missed the end of the season.
Oh,
she picked up an injury.
Not my goat.
So she was out for 2 months.
You've got her for another year, though, right?
Yeah, 2 years, I think.
Good.
2029, 2028.
Let's have a look. I guess we'll start with the stages. It's going to bring up
terrified.
That's the wrong competition. The Adran Premier. We have won the league comfortably.
Beautiful.
We've pipped Cardiff City to the top of the league by 12 points.
You can't have lost many games.
We lost
one, maybe?
3. I lost 1, and that was against...
Yeah, I was going to say, because I'd lost 2.
Yeah, I lost 1 game against Swansea.
Understandable. You played them like 12 times.
I have a Cardiff City related question/thought. So at the end of the first season, the 25-26 season, they lost, including Madison Lloyd, quite a lot of very talented players, most of them on freeze. And I'm curious as to whether they just did not adequately recruit to fill those holes, like the AI is just really bad at squad building still, or what exactly happened there that their performance degraded that much.
I know at one point, but they don't have that good of a budget compared to Wrexham, for example, or even Swansea. I think Swansea's budget might be a little bit better than Cardiff's.
I know at one point I'd played them back to back, and I saw a news article afterwards that they'd lost 5 games on the trot.
Jeez.
But that would have been all competitions, and I think 2 of them were against us.
But 31 points is quite... I think they finished 48 the season before. Maybe you could go back and look.
Huge drop off.
But it was a pretty big gap between... Yeah, so I finished at 35. They finished at 48.
Yeah, they dominated last season. They only They only lost points in 5 games out of their 20.
And I drew them, but I never managed to beat them.
This season, we did get a couple of good wins against Cardiff, actually.
Yeah.
We weren't quite as clinical as Cardiff were last season, but we're obviously better than them now. Even if the season preview doesn't necessarily reflect that. We currently only have 2 players in this Media Dream 11. That's obviously going to change next season. Given that Cardiff never won the league this season, I imagine they're going to struggle to keep hold of some of their better talent. So this is probably going to change a bit.
Okay.
So that's the league. We've won the league. But that wasn't the only competition we've been part of this season. Last season, I bottled the Welsh Trophy and the Welsh Cup in the first rounds that we were in it. However, when I was handed this save by Katy, Katy has managed to put us in the latter stages of the Cups, and we have won the Welsh Trophy. So at the very least, we've done the double.
Extra time as well.
Yeah, it was, I can't remember who scored in the extra time. It was Freeman.
Of course it was. Of course it was. And I will note that our captain scored in the 46th minute.
Yes.
And our former captain.
Beautiful.
Very salty about that, Katy. Very salty.
We had to have Kelsey, I'm afraid.
No, it's a dark choice for Wendy Taylor to make.
You'll be able to swap her in the summer. She won't kick off.
May I mention, by the way, that the way Alice described Wendy Taylor was kindly old woman. And I opened up her preview image, and she is clearly a lesbian that runs a bookstore in Portland. She might be old, but the girl's got some flavor to her.
Where is she? What is Wendy Taylor?
She's got the little asymmetrical bob. It's kind of red pink, it's clearly dyed that way.
So you
she got a whole ombre thing going on. She's keeping the maintenance up. She's a very image conscious woman. She's got the big wide glasses that her probably Gen Alpha child picked out for her. She's got a look.
You can't make them look older. That's about as old as you can make a player look in the character career.
A lot of excuses here, Alice, but I see a vision. I see something that maybe you didn't know you were going for it, but
I'm
going to
go as Wendy Taylor for Halloween. I've got the glasses already. I'll just need to grow my hair out.
Yeah, I love it. So we are also, speaking of competitions, we are also in the final of the Welsh Women's Cup, and it's going to be against Pontypridd, which...
Oh, no.
Is...
Click on their squad a second, Alice.
Oh, no. Why?
She is still there. Nicole Fenton. That woman haunts me.
ASAP. You changed her name.
Oh, you did as well.
It's just a nickname, to be clear.
Sure.
But,
okay.
Like, that woman haunts me. She is inevitable. Every time I play them, she scores.
Yeah, I can see why. I think part of this is her physical attributes, her speed, plus the agility and the balance. Yeah. She can really just like turn on the spot at a moment's notice.
And also her 15 flair.
Yeah,
we've got,
quite like
and I
us
think we
to
still
sign
have
Nicole
quite
Fenton.
a tactical squad.
We do.
We started the save off with a very flair and technical heavy squad. Other than the defence, which that's vanished from, our offensive is still very tactical.
No bullshit in our backline. And also, I will thank you to respect Rebecca Mateus, actually, who does have a little bit of sauce about her.
There's one girl that I signed very, very late. I don't even think I fully signed her until Katy took over. Caitlin Williams.
Yes.
She was a little bit more technical.
Very good.
Kind of well-rounded.
Where has she gone?
Not a strand out, where has she gone? Did you kill her?
Put her?
She's in the reserves.
You demoted her. She was 15 tackling. She was one of our most technically minded center backs.
Oh, I was playing her at wing back.
I'm very confused about how Alice uses the reserves too, because I've never in my life used the reserves that way. I went the entire
Park as well.
Spring.
She's a Korean international footballer.
Spring. I went until I think March. We had 4 games left, and then I clicked on the reserves tabs, and I realized there are all these overage players that haven't just been made available for the reserves; they are fully in the reserves, including our 4-star striker, who Alice had presumably gotten mad at and demoted. And I just didn't realize these were players I had because they weren't in the first team.
I have actually, this gets worse the more I look at it, because Phoebe Ellis is in here, who was very good for me, and so is Guadalupe.
Yeah.
And I think this is a really...
What I think you're both missing here is that
none you look at their attributes and not at their match rating.
Are damn quality. Like, we're better than those players are now. And they're still young.
I don't know about that,
Alice, I will thank you. Could you just open Caitlin Williams' profile for a second?
Yeah, Caitlin Williams.
Click on her name. Click on her name.
You're looking too much at the overall star picture, which is kind of middling for her.
No,
and you're missing the fact that her tackling skills in a game, in the match engine, are shoulders above most of the other center back options we had, at least when I was watching Katy's.
I'm looking at her 8 appearances in the first team and a 6.69 rating.
Yes, at fullback with a goal and an assist.
When you look at the current squad, our fullback...
Right, so open Trinity. Open Trinity. Open her.
Her
Trinity wasn't retrained to play at wingback, right? Because when I got Trinity, she was not a wingback yet.
No, I think I have been retraining her there.
Yeah.
So
imagine doing training. This is part of the problem, I fear. I just leave it all to the assistant.
So the other 4'11" player I would like you to gaze your eyes over is Morales. 150 centimeter striker with 16 finishing, 16 technicals, and 14 flair. I love her.
8 composure.
This is fine.
The thing is, I can't even argue because I've just told everybody how much I really like looking at their match rating, and she's obviously a baller. But she has 8 composure, and I wouldn't even have considered signing her.
So I found that
mad.
She's really good as the support striker. So I'm currently playing as a poacher, so that's where she's getting her goals. But she's also got a number of assists, and it is part... Do you not want a poacher?
Not one with 8 composure, Alice, no.
You are aware this is the Welsh Prem, right? We're not getting much better than these players.
Right. So I had a whole rant on stream about this because I don't think that mentals and physicals matter. Like, they don't change. Like, a good striker will always need, like, above maybe 12 composure.
I think I'm still just offended that the best tackler, best marker,
I am I cannot believe you've done this.
Let me see what your center backs technicals are at this
So
point.
this is
Okay, so Rebecca Mathias, I was not familiar with. I don't think she was in the team when I was playing.
I love her. I signed her.
absolutely
She has
incredible.
scored a couple of free kick goals.
She's good. I can get behind her. 17 aggression and 15 tackling in combination is juicy.
Yeah.
And the bravery. And the concentration.
I like her.
kiss.
Looks good.
She is honestly fantastic. Sukova, which you should both know.
Sukova's, I just feel like she could be a much better wing back. I mean, she can play both.
She has a really good wing back,
Really, ideally, whoever takes it over next will probably need to retrain her as that role. She's not ready yet.
She is. Alice, she has 13 crossing.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
12
right,
pace,
she's got
15
a
natural
13
fitness.
jumping reach, which is one of the best. Like, she can jump, despite being 21 centimeters shorter than Rebecca. She's got more height on her.
She genuinely has springs in her heels. It's crazy.
Hasn't it been a debate for a long time the extent to which height actually matters in the match engine?
Yeah.
I think it's more about what jumping reach actually measures. Because I think a lot of people think it measures how high they can jump. Right, like how far off the ground their feet come.
Right.
And what I think it actually is, and I might be incorrect here, I think it's a measure of like their maximum. You know how like in the NBA they measure your vertical jump, and it's like when you put your hand up and you jump, how far high that gets.
Right.
I think that's what jumping reach is actually a measure of. I think it's like your total height. So like if I was to jump, I'm 5'5", I could probably get my head to like a couple of inches off like higher. So I'd have like a jump reach of like 2, right? But I think it's like your total reach, basically, like how vertical you can actually get.
Okay. And then the other
my
centre
feed.
back, who we've already gone over, doesn't have the jumping reach, but she has 17
tackling.
So you can kind of see why I've dropped her. I could bring her back up because we are struggling for centre back. I don't think Nikki Comfort's any good.
Nikki Comfort was the other one that I was playing back there. She was one of my
She's only there
signings.
because she's left-footed.
Yeah.
She's a little too short, unfortunately. Well, it's not that she's short. She doesn't have the jump.
She's a little too short, you say, comparing her to a woman who's 4'11".
What about Big Marie? Did you like Big Marie?
Big Marie?
Big Marie Krumpelkova? I swear to God, Alice, have you been playing this woman at striker?
Oh, no, I've not been playing her.
She just suddenly became
She's
like
5'11".
the big man striker.
Alice. She's 5. She's almost 6 foot tall.
It's such an FM profile, though, to have somebody who's simultaneously a defensive center and then like a really, really physical striker, and those are the only two positions they can play. Like
Cardiff
she's the women's football Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, Cardiff had a very similar player to this. It's is it Evans? Sharon Evans? So
I don't recognise that name.
Cardiff.
I've never heard that name before in my life.
Cardiff. Show me Cardiff. Cardiff have Shannon Evans.
Oh, they've kept Fiona Barry, though. Can we sign her?
Do we have 8K? Technically, yes,
No.
but I think we're actually,
we don't.
the thing is, I think we got to the stage where we're better than Fiona Barry now.
My worry is that we're not good enough for the players that are better than Fiona Barry, like reputation-wise.
We're in the Champions League.
Yeah, but that's going to take a couple of seasons to catch up.
That's true. But we do now
That's
have
my worry.
I am handing this back over to you, Ank.
Mm.
Not.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Look
that's
at
per
that.
year.
£6,000 per year budget remaining. You're welcome.
That's like 2 players?
You do yearly, not weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have a lot of
I find
problems
it
here,
easier
Alice, I'm not gonna lie to you.
to compartmentalize.
I started
wages,
doing yearly because
yeah.
in the U.S. sports salaries are always yearly.
Yeah.
They don't ever report like in media and stuff weekly pay. I eventually switched over to weekly because I wrapped my head around it. But yeah, no, I have no issue with that. Okay.
So I'm about to.
I'm
After
very proud of you, Alice. Good job.
Don't be proud of me just yet. The only reason
And we've
that
got a few
happened.
players. So you're going to free up another 2.5 from Nikki Comfort, right? Who's gone? What do you mean? What happened?
Don't be proud of that, because we were actually in wage debt. The only reason we're now not in wage debt is because we won the league and they gave me our budgets for next season.
Oh.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes.
Right. So don't close that. Open that back up.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh no, am I going to be the one responsible for making sure we actually don't crash out of Europe and that we qualify?
Yes.
No. So
Fuck.
we have a current wage spend of £90,000.
Yes, per year.
Our committed wage total for next season that's for the season after this one, though, right?
No, that's our committed wage total remaining.
No, that is what salaries we're going to be paying out next year.
No,
That means that every player that's on a contract.
Yeah, I think that must
so
be a
that'll be for
bug or something.
2029. That's fine. I was really panicking there that like everyone was out of contract and we were going to have to renew them all.
To be fair, that's actually how I handed it over to Ank in season 1. I hadn't renewed anyone's contracts. I was like, that's Ank's problem.
We've got a couple going out of contract.
I renewed Emily Freeman. I renewed Molly. But I think those were the only 2 that I renewed because everybody else was like too expensive or too willing to leave. Like Shanahan had
so I know when I
interest
handed it over,
anyway.
I'd renewed somebody and I can't remember who it was, but I know Fionn Williams and Nikki Comfort are both out of contract.
Yeah.
And this will be Ank's call, because Ank is the one that's about to get this save. Mm-hmm. I would be letting them both go. I don't think Fionn Williams is that great. Like, she's good, but at this point, we've got enough young American strikers that
we had
I think
we
fill
had
the void.
2 Fionns. Is Fionn Williams the one that was primarily a striker, and then the other Fionn was the one that played like 15 different positions?
Yeah.
Spence, yeah.
Yeah, there's no Fionn Spence here now.
Okay.
She went,
Rest in peace,
she
Fionn
went
Spence.
last summer. She went when I
Gotcha.
took over. Because she was like on a rolling contract and I was like, I'm not paying you that money.
She was one that I didn't renew, and I left it to Katy whether to release her or not.
So, Ank, we've talked about what you were able to, what you did after you got the save from me last time. Looking at this from just the top of your head, like, what is your instant thought? What's the first thing you see? It's like, what am I going to do when I take over this? We're going into the Champions League, so our season's going to be starting earlier. We're not going to have enough time as much time as we would to maybe rebuild the squad. What's your initial thoughts?
I mean, you've got it set up to where most of these women are on like fairly, like they have next year covered contract wise. So I don't think I'll have to do a lot of replacing. I think you've already done the squad building element. My concern would be, how does the strength of this squad measure up against what we're going to see in preliminary qualifying rounds for the European Cup? And how does that affect any changes that I make, like tactically, or where I want to concentrate on, like getting in, if we could afford it, like a world-class kind of player, like marquee signing kind of player. Also, when does Lloyd get uninjured?
She'll be back ready for that.
She'll be back by the end of the summer.
Yeah. She's only a couple of weeks out now, so 4 days.
4
also
days.
out of contract next year, so I would quite like us to renew that contract.
I am curious about development. There were a couple that I left you with that I wanted to see whether they would improve. I think, what is the Puerto Rican girl's name? Jimenez, Amelia Ashun, Ella Smitham or something Smitham. Yeah, Ella Smitham.
Smitham I like.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
In terms of the youth you got handled, who has established themselves as a first team player? Who seems to be coming along well?
If you see your general info view, if you switch that to selection, it will show us like who played games and stuff like that. Yeah.
So I think this is the reality. This is a very young squad to going into it anyway. The oldest player was Matthias, wasn't it?
Rebecca's 30.
30, yeah.
Everyone else is in their early 20s. But I just can't help but feel Zakova is the future of this squad. Like, I think her ratings is probably a little under.
Where did we get Zakova from? Like, if you go to her, like, what was her last team?
So her
what
last
leagues
team
has
was
Partizan?
Okay. So she was playing in Serbia before she came to us.
Yeah.
And again, going back to
Gotcha.
what we talked about at the beginning of the stream, like, we don't have to worry about work permits, so we could just sign it wherever we want. But
one thing that I found really helpful, and I know Ank's not going to enjoy this, but attribute scouting. So I basically benchmarked us against Cardiff. So looked at like Cardiff's best 2 or 3 players, saw what their average attribute was. I think it was like a 13. And I just looked for players that were around about that sort of level in key moments. And I think I would probably do the same again, but for like group stage Champions League teams.
yeah.
And try to get as close to that as we can.
So my hope is Zakovia does get better, because we do now have to improve.
Right.
Yeah.
And because we have such a good young squad anyway, I think we're definitely going to just naturally improve over a couple of seasons. But I do think a couple of these players are going to start reaching their limits relatively shortly. I think we're going to, unfortunately, outgrow them. For example, Olivia Basham, who is amazing. Like, I love the flair on this girl. And she's got the technique to kind of support her. And she's honestly
Is she our top scorer?
She might be. She is. Nope. Fionn Williams is.
Oh, Fionn Williams. How many's Madison got? 8?
8, yeah.
But they got injured
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
And Emily Freeman, I note, has 7.
And I've dropped.
Freeman does these like stupid banger goals from outside the box. None of her traits around those things are particularly. I guess she's got long shots 12, but like none of them are like really standout traits. But oh my gosh, she generates ridiculous goals.
Yes, what I saw a lot as well was like.
Band back immediately. By the way, I am undoing Katie's slander.
I agree with
It was just no. I'm totally about it as well. It was just necessity to sign Kelsey.
Yeah.
Kelsey's okay. I don't think she was worth the promise to give her the captainship.
Because it took $2,000 a week off her wages.
Oh, did it really?
I don't know if I've ever promised that to a player before. That's interesting. I know that's something you can work in.
You will also notice that a lot of the players that I signed have relegation release clauses of 0 to also take about $1,000 a week off their wages.
That's fine, because if we get relegated, we get sacked anyway, because there's no league to drop into.
Oh my God. That feels like, are we allowed to do that? Is that allowed? This is Wendy Taylor's 5D chess. Oh my gosh.
This is... And I think, to be fair, it is quite common in lower leagues that like players will just walk away if their club gets relegated. Like they don't.
This is like when I like add a clause in like a Hereford player's contract that if he appears
like,
for the England national team, you know, you get a £2,000 payout. No, you don't. You're never getting called up.
Brazil suddenly have like an injury crisis.
I was watching your stream the other week when you had the save.
Yeah.
And I think you owe Barry Town, and specifically the Stadium of Jenner Park, an apology. I believe you slandered Jenner Park to no end and only said there was one stand when there's actually 2, either side of roughly the same capacity.
Oh, okay. Sure. Sure. I apologize for my sins against Jenner Park and the words of disrepute that I heaped upon a fine institution, an icon not just of Welsh football, but of global football. That being said, it kept telling me that the record attendance was like 100 people. Is there any way we can ever fix that?
Probably not. Like,
probably not inaccurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In real life, it's probably less. Like the.
All right. So, 2026 FM Show meetup at Jenner Park for a Barrytown women's game. Can we get more than 100 people there?
Hey, the Jenner Park.
I'm here for it.
The Welsh Cup semi-final against Bangor had 292.
Where
I
do
think
you
we
see
can break that record. I think we can do it.
Oh, right. Sorry, I just assumed that was part of the stadium. I don't know. 292.
Yeah, Welsh
What
Cup's
did
semi-final. Against
did
Wrexham,
we
we had
lift the trophy at
170.
home? Did we lift the trophy at home or away from home?
Neutral ground. It was at Brewery Field.
No, sorry, the league title.
I think we lifted it at home. I think it was around this game against Swansea.
Swansea brought 8 people.
I don't like that. I mean, they're all probably relatives at that point. Like,
Absolute disrespect.
we got
the
our
Welsh
players'
Trophy final,
girlfriends
look
and
at
no
that.
one
168
else.
to a cup final.
Swansea had more fans than us for the final.
That's mad.
Yeah, that was a crazy
Maybe
game.
that's why they didn't bother showing up to us lifting the trophy.
If I could, I want to try and bring up this goal. Can I bring up this game?
If you click on the score,
Yeah.
Welsh Trophy
click
final.
on the that's you.
This was the winning goal.
Emily Freeman.
This was the
goat.
clutch goal.
I'm gonna get Emily Freeman's name tattooed on me. I'm not. God, can you imagine?
That's if it'll load.
Get back to the house. Message me like, who is Emily? Don't ask questions.
Look how tiny she is. I love it.
She's so small.
I don't even know where Emily Freeman is on the pitch.
Oh, she's there.
over there,
She's at the back post.
There she
Oh,
does.
Stunning volley.
She loves to score those.
Yeah.
yeah.
She's
They
a
love
wing
that.
back.
Like the switch from the right wing back to the left wing back's crazy.
Right.
Oh,
We're
there we
back.
are.
So, now that we've kind of experienced a bit more of Welsh football, is there anything I'd love to know? Is there, other than Katy's need to develop her game with a lack of wingers? You know, you've done. You've done. I think you did a great job in
It's like I
bringing.
didn't come here to be disrespected, Alice. What do you mean?
You've done a great job in improving your game and being out of your depth. It's what I love about the save right now is that Ank, I think, was a little stunned at the formation and what I had done with the wages. And Katy, you're stunned at the lack of wingers. I'd like to know, is there anything else that you're learning from this save? Like, not only being a succession save, because this is the first succession save I've ever done, but also just Welsh football in general, this Welsh league, because it is by far the worst league in women's football in the game. Like, I think the Adran Premier is ranked like 70 in the world, where we're only one, and everyone else is ranked above 20. So what have you learned?
So one of the things that I'm really curious about, especially you saying that it's ranked 70th in the world, which I did not know, is like the relative quality of player in the league as a whole, and then in like the top tier teams in the league. Like I had a hard time at first trying to figure out what that would compare to. That probably is why I also did like the spam of American trialists, because I was trying to weigh it against like, okay, these players from leagues that I'm more familiar with, will they be at all useful here? Or are they above the level? Are they below the level? Like what are we aiming for? When India Shanahan, who was our far and away best player, left us, it was for the WSL 2 and for, I think, Sheffield United. And so that gave me a little bit of a gauge of like, okay, so the best player that our league has produced, she was at that point in time, is ready to slot into the team in the WSL 2. And I would be curious in the save to see like what the rest of her career ends up looking like. But that was kind of a lingering question for me, is like, what is our level? What are, for example, the new gens we're producing, what is their level going to be? Because it seemed like when I took over...
Our new gen, they suck.
Some of the ones I got seemed, question mark, like they would be okay. One of them was like first team ready already, and I wish I could remember what her name was. But anyway, that was a big like learning moment, feeling it out kind of moment. Something I would pay a lot of attention to going forward is like what is the realistic level of the player in this league, and what is like the maximum we can push that to. I think Europe will illustrate that better.
So I think you're correct. The best players in this league are not necessarily going to go into the WSL2 and be the best players there, but they can slot into a lot of those teams. You talked about India Shanahan there. In Cardiff have several. They have Lily Billingham, who is ridiculously good. Shannon Evans, who we just went over when we were looking at the game then. So there are plenty of players. And the thing is, because they're playing in Wales, they're obviously on part-time contracts. So they're on like the Cardiff players all start out on like about $5,000. We all start off just under 3, right? But if they decided to take that step up to full-time football, they can go into the WSL2. And that is the minimum they can get paid, depending on their age, is like $25,000. So it's very easy for us to lose those players to the WSL2 because they're not going to have, unless they're players we've signed and bypass the work permit of, and we have to get to the bottom of like what the issue is. Where at some point
it's got to be some bug that SI has just never.
We're going to need to raise on the forums. I think.
I wonder.
It seems like one of those things that probably wasn't really tested.
Yeah.
It was the case in beta for sure. And I think all of us that were playing women's saves at that time brought that up in like a really old podcast.
Yeah.
And it never got fixed.
Yeah. So my guess is that SI just don't know. Like, and so if they don't know, it's like, the question is, why do they not know? And I wonder how popular the Welsh League is, because I think the unfortunate reality is...
It was the case in the WSL too as well, though.
Yeah,
and that's a much
I don't
more
think it's just
league.
a Welsh football issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a women's football issue. We'll probably need to do some testing, but I think we'll probably need to raise it on the forum and just see if we can get it fixed.
No, don't raise it on the forum. I want to save. Don't bring it up.
But I know the update today had a ton of rule fixes and like points deductions and work permit changes and VAR changes and stuff like that. So it might be in there.
Oh, really?
I've not looked.
Okay.
I've not looked in any detail.
I don't think it's
But there was
I looked through the patch notes today because a couple of them were things that I had like flagged in my game. I had a wonderful bug where I signed a grayed out keeper in my first season, and I loaded up my save recently, like 4 seasons in, and suddenly every one of his attributes had gone to something above 20. So this guy had like somewhere between like 28 and 55 for all of his attributes. They were real. They were real. Spoiler alert! It wasn't supposed to be happening. But anyway,
did he play like it? Like, did he play like he had 50?
No, I wish, but we tested it out in a few friendlies, and he was indeed pretty crap still.
Oh, okay.
But I do have kind of like a loaded question that I feel like the lack of response to this bug makes me want to ask is like, how many people at this point are actually playing women's leagues, especially any women's league outside of the WSL or the NWSL?
I wonder. So I think that might be part of it as well. I think they might have coded the work permit rules for like the big leagues and not the little leagues, respectfully. Bug tracker.
70th in the world.
So I'm gonna have a wee look at the bug tracker just now and just see database and research.
Yeah. So that you bang on the money there, Ank. Where I want to know. I want to know how many people are playing women's football, and I want to know how many people decided to load up the Welsh League. Because when I play Football Manager, I want to be the worst of the worst, and I get that not everyone is like that. I get that a lot of people want to play with the players that they know. I like playing with the players I don't know, and I get to learn to grow alongside the team that I'm part of. And I hope that if it is a case that this is not being looked at because the numbers just aren't there in playing the Welsh League in the women's football, I hope this doesn't disencourage SI. I think they're committed to this path now. I think they decided to bring women's football in, not because it was going to make them money, not because it was going to be the most heavily played, but because it was the right thing to do. And I think that's something that Miles has brought up in the past, where this was the right thing to do.
Right.
And I'm confident that SI aren't going to reverse course, even if not many people are playing this league.
No, they've invested far too much into it.
Exactly.
I would say.
And we have other playable leagues in this game which are going to have a similar issue in the men's football. Like, there's, I can't imagine, I don't know how many people are playing in India, for example.
Sure.
Or, like, and there's probably like many other examples I could have given. So, Katie, did you find what you're looking at?
Yeah, I was trying to see. There's a lot of different work permit issues being reported, but I can't see that one specifically. Okay. I might just raise a thread for it after this. Actually,
it's so the issue, as I would describe it, is that there is no work permit check at all.
Yeah.
For I don't know if I would say just lower leagues as a blanket. In beta, it was true at my WSL2 club. Never once did I have to do it. And I think you also mentioned, Alice, in beta, you were playing in what, Sweden? And had something similar happen? Not Sweden, somewhere.
I don't remember.
I had it
whatever your beta save was. Yeah.
So, Katie, I want to ask you the same question as I asked Ank there. Other than learning to use wingers, what have you learned?
Use wingers.
What else have you learned from this save?
I don't think it's so much a thing that I've learned as a thing that I've sort of like found an enjoyment of. So things like lower league saves, in saves where like you're having to really scrap for like every single coin.
Yeah.
Are a thing that I've not done a lot of recently. Because no. But I've actually really enjoyed it. Like, I've really enjoyed having to sort of trawl through attributes to find players that are gems and then going from there. And what I think I'm really interested in is, especially with what you're talking about, where like the league is so bad compared to all of the other playable leagues, is how much we can actually improve that.
Yeah.
Right? So like, will teams ever become full-time pro? Right? Like, if we drag the coefficient up and we get extra European slots and we get money into the league, will that ever make a difference? I'm also curious about, like, with no promotion and relegation, like, into a playable league, what happens to the teams that go down as well, and like how good the quality is of the teams coming back up. So I think I'm quite interested to see how it plays out over a couple more seasons. But yeah, I think just having to like function within a system that I'm not the only one that's responsible for, it's wild to me. Not being able to change the tactic, having to really think, like, because usually when I'm buying players, I just set the club on fire and I'm like, it's fine, the sponsors will bail us out, the prize money, but we don't have that. I don't have that safety blanket. So that's been interesting, but also terrifying.
I like how you said we have to like scrap for every bit of coin. Ank is the one that has to scrap for every bit of coin. They fixed it.
I have tried.
Then you have a great wage structure. Then it comes back to me and it breaks again.
Yeah.
So Katie, what I like about this save is that it has brought you back to streaming.
Yes.
How's that going?
Actually super good. I think the response has been really lovely. And I'm really enjoying it. I think the last time I tried to stream, I put so much pressure on myself to, like, I don't know, become some sort of fucking superstar. And I'm like, it's not going to happen, right? I'm not charismatic enough.
I think you're plenty charismatic enough.
You're one third of the WFM show. We wouldn't have invited you on the show to be a co-host if you weren't.
Yeah, so I think like just being able to kind of like share the save a little bit has been really nice, and the response from like the community has been really, really lovely. So yeah, it's a thing now. I don't know how long it's a thing for, but it's a thing, and it's been fun. And I think not having to do it from either like a shit MacBook or a really crap laptop has been a huge difference as well. Because before, like, I couldn't open FM and OBS at the same time without my laptop switching itself off because it got too warm. So Yeah, it's been good fun. I've really enjoyed it. And I think like approaching it with no expectation has been a huge like mindset shift as well.
So
Like I've turned off my viewer numbers. I don't care. Like it's such a huge difference.
I like that kind of that different approach, the mindset you're going into the save. So before the Barry Town save, I was struggling to play the game. I really was. I was like, I don't want to play this game. Like I was. We've obviously talked about it in depth how there's something not right about FM26.
Yeah.
But then we started the Barry Town save. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the charm of Jenna Park. But I am...
It's those two stands.
Despite the...
It's the athletics track around it. It just kind of calls to you.
It's the fact you can see the amusements from the top of the stand.
Can you?
You can. You can see the beach. Can you not?
You can see Barry Island.
No, and you would have found out, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
We'll find out in the summer.
I have to...
Barry beach views.
Oh, no.
I'm sure you can.
Don't look at Barry Island. The water's awful. It's literally brown.
Oh, it looks lovely.
It's brown.
It looks lovely.
I spent, and I cannot stress this enough, I spent an unholy amount of money on the island. Like, we went to Nessa's Slots. We went to every amusement arcade between getting off the train and Nessa's Slots. We went on the Dodgems, and I was abused by a 12-year-old. One of my friends ripped his trousers on the Dodgems because he kept getting crashed into. I loved it.
Are you all familiar with like the concept of a county fair? Like
Vaguely.
with traveling rides and stuff,
Vaguely,
and they come on a big tractor trailer, they
The
unpack
shows.
it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from like what the amusements there
But it's
look
permanent.
like. But it's
Yeah,
permanent.
they're permanent.
permanent.
For some weird reason.
Yeah.
Where was I? So...
Yeah, we've totally derailed this once again.
No, it's very important.
Mission
It's very
accomplished.
It is. Barry Island.
It got you back. The amusements brought you back, Alice. This is why we play the game.
So I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's the charm of Jenna Park. Maybe it's the charm of starting as a club I'm completely unfamiliar with. But I am back with FM26 now, and my mentality has changed. There's been a shift from that negativity I think we all had at the beginning. And whilst, yes, I can objectively look at Football Manager and be like, this is not what we were after. But right now, I don't care. Like, I've got my Barry save. In my single player campaign is the Durham, which is so much fun.
Yeah,
I love Durham. Been streaming
Which
that
we
as well.
mentioned in, I think, the first pod. Was it the first pod?
I think we talked about them before.
We looked at save ideas, or they were like a badge or something. Yeah.
So I'm playing the Durham save, and I think we got promoted to the W. Yeah, we're in WSL now. So with that save, the Barry save, I'm back on board with FM26. A question to both of you, really. Is that similar to you? Are you back on board with FM26 now?
Yeah, like I think I am to an extent. I think for me it has to be like a social like endeavor, right? So like the succession save's nice because I can pick it up for a little bit and then hand it over. And I can stay invested with it because obviously you guys are giving the updates, but I don't really have, I don't know if it's a me thing, like I don't have the time now for like, so my playtime on the old FMs was like thousands of hours in a year, right?
Yeah.
And some of it is because I was procrastinating and I was avoiding uni work. And some of it was just because like I was really into the game, right? And now I think I don't have as much time, so it's easier for me when it's a social event, right? So like I'm streaming the network game, and that's nice because I can interact with people at the same time. So like my gaming time is less available. And I feel like I have to get more value out of it. And I don't get that value in a single player game. I do in a multiplayer game. But I don't know if it's the game or if it's just a change of circumstances for me or a bit of both.
Yeah,
So.
I get that. Like I think there's definitely like an enjoyment I'm getting from the fact that this is savers for the three of us. The three of us are passing it on between one another. It is definitely that social aspect where we're on the Discord every now and again. Look what just happened.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoy that. Ank, it's kind of the same back at you. What is your opinions now? Has things changed for you?
I feel like I have never really had the option of not being on board with FM26. As somebody who is pretty new to streaming and got something of an audience kind of quickly, there's that real pressure of like, if I stop for a minute, this all goes away. And especially like once you have some subscribers, which like is an awesome but very weird thing, you want the pressure of like, okay, people are literally paying to see me create stuff. That means I need to be creating stuff.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, it's not necessarily because it was FM26 or because it had to be the newest version of the game. It's like, well, I went into this with the intent of having a long-term park to prem kind of save with like a protagonist and a storyline, and I need to execute that and see that through. And FM26 just happens to be the platform I'm doing that on right now. So for me, it's like, I think I've compartmentalized it to the point that like FM26 is a game I play on stream and have one long-term save in that I care about and that my viewers are interested in. And if I'm playing for fun offline, it's probably still FM24.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So I think we'll wrap it up there. But before we do, I just kind of like want to, like, to the audience, anyone that out there that is struggling with FM at the moment and hasn't picked up in a while, I would suggest try to do what we've done here and find a way to get that enjoyment back, whether it's picking up starting with a unique save or whether it's playing with your friends. There are many ways to get back into FM26, and that is how I would do it. So, Katy, do you have anything to share outside of football today?
Outside of football, do I? Oh my gosh. Where is she?
She is unhappy that I'm not giving her all of my attention and that I'm
monster.
giving YouTube
I saw a
attention
tail
instead.
sort
I
of
saw a tail,
swish
yeah.
across the screen.
Outside, I had a week off of work last week, actually, which was really nice. Like,
Was that how we were able to get so many Katy streams?
Yes. Yeah, so I think outside of Football Manager, I think just being able to have a week where I could just chill with my partner and like not have to do anything was really nice. And it gave me that kind of opportunity to like sneak back onto Twitch as well at the same time. Yeah.
Cool. Ank, anything outside of football or FM rather that you'd like to share?
Yeah, outside of FM, but inside of football,
Cool.
the new season for my local team started up. So we managed to cram 3 days in 1 week because of some like weird cancellations and fixture changes and stuff. And so that was quite fun. It's almost so we're a pretty low league team. I would consider the level of play probably on par with like maybe the National League North South or National League even. But what that means is contracts are very, very short. People leave a really quick time. And so the turnover between last year and this year is they lost fully half of their like title winning team. And so it's been very interesting in real life to see like this new group of guys, what kind of chemistry they build together or don't build together. And I'm having quite a lot of fun with that.
So I'll be following you as well. And this will be football related, but outside of FM. Last weekend, I had the weekend off work. So I was like, oh, do you know what? I could go to a football game. Ooh. So I was like, I could go to Barry. They were playing at home, but also Cardiff were playing at home. So I was like, Cardiff versus Swansea. Sounds great, right? Went on the app, booked my ticket and everything. Looked at train times and bus replacements. I wasn't going to get there in time. Ooh. So I didn't go in the end because I couldn't get there.
Oh,
so I was
rough.
so devastated. I was so ready to go
again.
and watch Cardiff women's versus Swansea women's, but alas, it was not to be. I'll try next week. I'm off.
Yeah.
I'm off this coming weekend, so I'll try again
the
then.
The actual Welsh League did just end, and Wrexham won it.
Yeah.
So
Is it ended?
congrats to them.
Yeah, it's over.
Ended a couple. Was it yesterday?
Yesterday, the day before. Yeah.
Yeah, this weekend.
That sucks.
Cardiff beats Wrexham beat Cardiff on the last day to win it.
Next year, our Barrytown meetup, it's on.
We'll do it, yeah, absolutely.
We'll ride the dinky little
I think
Ferris wheel.
it's like halfway between, right?
That sounds like a great idea. A Barrytown game, then we'll go to the island, go and play the slots, and go to the bumper cars.
Ank's homework between now and then is to watch Gavin and Stacey in its entirety, so that you're prepared.
Don't do this to yourself.
This is UK culture.
Don't do it to yourself. Right then, thank you very much to my wonderful co-host for today, and thank you very much for checking out today's podcast. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one, and remember, keep playing FM 26. If you find that unique thing,
if you want to,
you'll love it. No, you must. You must. Take care and goodbye.